Hi, my name is Angela, and today I'm going to teach you all about castling. Castling involves the king and one rook. Either rook is fine. What castling is that it puts the king in a position where it can be safe. So we have to get all the other pieces out of the way, because when we castle, there needs to be no pieces in between the king and the rook. The pawns can stay because they're not in the way. So when we castle, we move the king 2 spaces in the direction of the rook. And then we take the rook and we jump it past the king. For example, if we castle the king this way, this is called kingside castling because it's on the side of the king. The king will jump 2 spaces toward the rook and the rook will jump over the king. But make sure when you're castling, you touch your king before you touch your rook. That way, they don't call touch move on you because castling is a move made by the king. If the king castles this way, that is called queenside castle because it's long castling and there usually is a queen here. The king still jumps 2 in the side of the rook and then the rook jumps all the way over the king. And that's what we call castling long side. If we castle on the short side or kingside castling, in notation it is a O, a dash, and an O. And when we castle the long way, it is an O, a dash, an O, and then another dash, O. We usually castle in the opening or in the early middle game. That way we can get our king to safety and we can do attacks on your opponent's king without putting our own king in danger. However, there are some circumstances where you cannot castle. First of all, if your king is in some kind of check, as you can see in this position, the white king is under check by a black queen, then you cannot castle. You cannot castle out of check. Additionally, if you have moved your king, for example, if I move this king this way, you already moved your king, you cannot castle. Even if you move it back to where it was before, you still cannot castle. Additionally, if you move one of the rooks, you cannot castle that way. If I move the rook on A1 to some other place, then you cannot castle this way ever again. However, you can still castle the other way. Lastly, you cannot castle when there are something preventing you from castling, such as, in this position, the king cannot castle because it would go through check. So you cannot castle if you're going through check. Here, if the king castles, it'll have to pass through check by the black queen, and that is illegal. Therefore, you cannot check in this position or in this position. Okay, I hope you learned something new today about castling.